Okay. So my talk today is on, because this is the subluxated lens course, subluxated lenses and loose zonules. So let's have a look at the first case. I think some of you all must have seen this before. Patient was lying by the pool side and basically sustained blunt trauma from a falling object. Put some eye drops, didn't get any worse, and presented with high IOP and a clear cornea, mid-dilated pupil, and the lens luxating into the AC. So reduce the IOP and let's start and see how this went. So basically, you can see that the lens is subluxed into the anterior chamber now, and part of the angle is closed because of this. So this is like a 360-degree zonulopathy due to the blunt trauma, but there's no like single area or 2 or 3 cloacas, nothing like that. So you don't need a ring segment. You should be able to manage this with a CTR. Now the issue is the whole bag is mobile. So we just use pupil hooks now after doing a little hydrodissection to create some space. So just use pupil hooks and suspend the bag up in this manner, and then do a slow motion phacoemulsification. Don't use very high parameters because this is not basically a hard cataract case. This is basically simply a subluxated lens case. Now, maybe this is a little challenging when you have to do IA when the bag is suspended, because a little bit of the cortex can be trapped under the hooks. And just peel it off from the capsule and now inject in the capsular tension ring. So I prefer to use these Off-Tech disposable capsular tension rings which come in an injector because it's a nice thin ring. It's about 13 millimeters and goes in one shot. You don't need much technique and skill to put it in. You just inject it in like you would inject an IOL, and then inject the IOL after that, and it sits very nicely in the bag. And a single piece IOL centered well, and that was basically the end of the case. Let's have a look at the next situation. So in a subluxated lens, should we use a ring segment or should we use an ASIA anchor? When is it indicated? Let's have a look. I have a nice video for this.
Should we use capsule hooks
So basically,
drop anchor when required in the case of a subluxed lens?
Can you all hear me?
It's not clear at all.
So this is a femtosecond laser system where we are creating the capsular rhexis, and it's a nice punched out rhexis like this. Now we inject in some Helon
Space for us between the capsular fornix anterior rim of the bag
and create some space. In this case, I decided to use capsular hooks because capsular hooks have wider paddles. So it kind of distributes the force. Now we pass the straight needle, railroad it out of the eye. So now you have a capsular ring segment. This is the Gupta segment, and get it out of the eye by railroading it out of the eye. So now your ring segments in the eye, and you can stabilize the capsular bag, put in a CTR, and we are able to put the lens implant and get a nice centered implant. But now if you have a poor rhexis, the small rim of capsule, what options do we have? Let's look at this kind of situation where now and then the rhexis is going to run out. Here the femtosecond laser wasn't aligned properly. So instead of doing a capsular rhexis, it's basically made some punctures under the capsule. Now we're using a manual capsular rhexis forceps technique and trying to pull the rhexis around, but now you can see the rhexis is starting to run out. So you can pull the rhexis back in, which I managed to do, but part of it has gone equatorial like this. And because it's gone equatorial, now there's not enough space for a ring segment. So how will you anchor a ring segment? So in this kind of situation, you need a ASIA anchor, which is basically 2 legs like this. You need a 2-pronged attachment like this. Use the tenoproline suture and pass the needle through the ASIA anchor. Once you pass it through the ASIA anchor and then railroad it out of the eye, and then engage the ring segment, not the ring segment, the ASIA anchor in this case, to hold the capsular bag up. So now the ring segment, the ASIA anchor is centered in the capsular bag. And now I'm passing the straight needle through the sclera twice to lock it. So once you pass this through, you really don't need to make flaps and other things like that. This will do the job. And now we are tying the knot tight. This creates a nice capsular bag. And now I'm injecting the lens inside the capsular bag. You have to inject it slowly so that it doesn't jump off. Because if the lens suddenly opens up, and finally, can we use a single piece IOL as a CTR? This is my final talk. And this I had published many, many years ago when I had lots of free time to do all this. And so basically, this is a ectopia lentis. And why should you have to use a CTR when you have only a localized subluxation like this, not 360-degree subluxation? If we can just use the haptic of a single piece IOL and just suture it to the eye wall, that should do the job. So let's just run through this. You do a nice small rhexis. The trick is to do a small rhexis. If your rhexis runs out, you had it, and then you cannot use this technique because the lens will not sit in the capsular bag anymore. So once you do a small rhexis, you then elevate the capsular bag using pupil hooks like this. Evacuate the nuclear material. Do an INA. Inject in a CTR for 360-degree coverage. But just putting in the CTR will not do the job because you have quite a bit of subluxation at 6 o'clock. So for about 3 to 4 clock hours. So now you pass a tenoprolene needle down the barrel of the injector and tie the rear end of the suture to the leading haptic. And once it's connected to the leading haptic, then you just put the IOL inside after railroading the needle out. Even if you don't railroad it, you just go under the iris, pass it under the iris, because where else is it going to come out? It's going to come out exactly where you want it to anyway. So when you have a long straight needle, you don't have to railroad it. You can just pass it out of the eye. So now we are injecting the IOL behind it. So now you have a IOL connected by a suture. You can put it in the capsular bag like so. And remember, the haptic is this big anyway, so it's like a ring segment. And then pass this twice through the sclera and just tie it tight. So this works very well in simple ectopia lentis case like this. And it allows you to use your favorite single piece IOL. You don't have to use a 3-piece and do all kinds of jugglery and flaps and all, which I frankly find quite difficult to do. I find this easier and simple. And that's the end of the case. And this is a typical ectopia lentis situation. So this is the end of my talk, basically. And it's really nice to see. So basically, this patient had a fall and lands up with this kind of scenario. So what has happened is that the IOL and the haptics, this IOL is probably put years ago, they have parted ways. So once I go inside, we realize that there is a IOL with the haptics trapped in the capsular bag. Make a tunnel. If you notice, this is a 2.8 tunnel because I want to get in with this little cutter. It looks like an alligator, basically. So it holds the lens very nicely.
Make a big screen.
So this is an old silicone lens from the time that I wasn't operating. So this probably, I think you all must have seen this, probably late 90s, early 2000. Because by the time I started operating, there were no more silicone lenses.
Cyrus, make a big screen.
And out come the pieces. This was probably a 5.5 optic. 3-piece silicone IOL. Now what I'm trying to do is open the capsular bag. But this is not a very good idea in this case, and I should have just gone in retrospect with a 3-piece lens. Now I have a rent. So when this kind of situation occurs, quickly put Viscoat, tamponade the rent, and first put in your IOL. Once the IOL is in to tamponade the rent, then put the haptics into the capsular bag. Because remember, you are going to have a little bit of vitreous, and the longer you wait and the more you decompress the anterior chamber, the more vitreous will come into the AC. So you have to use a vitrector. Now you can see the pupil is peaked here. So you must use your vitrector, or if you can't really tell where the vitreous is, you must put triamcinolone acetate and stain it. You can see the visco is coming back out and the pupil has become nice and round. So you can manage it like this. This is the end of the case, and let's go back to the discussion.
Thank you very much, sir.